Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grip Lock, Foundation Disc Golf's weekly podcast. I'm Hunter, joined as always by Trevor and Konner. And Waco did not disappoint yet again.
Waco was wacko.
Yeah, so it's weird because like you look at the results, which we'll talk through really quickly. And when you look at like the winner, that's normally where Waco is wacko. But this year, it was everything but the winner.
Well,
on MPO.
Yeah, it was an MPO, yes. FPO, I guess it wasn't crazy, but it was a different winner.
Yeah. So MPO results, we had Paul McBeth taking it down over Luke Humphries in second, and then tied for third, Chris Clemens and Joel Freeman. And then on FPO, we had Valerie Mandujano take it down, Kristen Tatar come in second, Katrina Allen came in third. Before we get into talking points, let's really quick go over the points that we all accumulated. Dark Horse, I get Alex Russell for my Dark Horse pick.
Great job. Good pick.
Thank you. But let's go ahead. Konner this week actually
Chandler Fry, never again.
Konner ended up winning Waco points-wise. He got 3 points for picking the MPO winner, correct. And then he got 4 points for the FPO top three by picking, I believe it was Kristen Tatar in the correct place, and then one other, Katrina Allen in the top three as well. So Konner gets 7 points for Waco. When you add that to the 6 he was bringing in, he's now at 13 points overall.
Boom.
Okay.
Trevor got 1 point for having a correct person in the top three of MPO, 2 points for having two correct players in FPO, neither in the right spot.
What was the top three of MPO?
Paul McBeth, Luke Humphries, Chris Clemens, Joel Freeman.
It was Clemens that snuck in there.
Yeah. 2 points for FPO for having two right players. So you got 3 points for Waco, plus 3 you had coming in. You're at 6 points overall. And then I had 1 point for having Paul in my top three, 0 points on FPO. Great job, Hunter.
Oof.
Well done. And then
you didn't have Val?
No. 2 points for my Dark Horse pick. I think I talked her up, but then didn't put her in my top three.
Loser talk. Right there.
And then 2 points for the Dark Horse pick, so I also get 3 from Waco, plus my 6 coming in. I'm at 9 points overall.
Yeah, I'm not worried unless I get like 30 points down in this thing, because literally you could have a week where you like get like 10 points just casually. Like, you can make up a lot of ground really quick. You can also just get blanked. Although I don't like... I might as well just start picking Paul to win every time, because like there's got to be like an analytics here. If you go off of like last season and if you just pick the same top three every time, like I wonder which top three was the best one to pick. It was probably like Ricky.
Well, last
Eagle,
year
Paul.
it was probably like Paul, Eagle, Rick, or Paul, Eagle, Calvin.
Well, Paul didn't win the most. It'd be based on who won the most.
Yeah, so I guess it'd be Eagle, Ricky, Paul.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
like,
I'm just thinking top. Like if you get those 3 players in your top three last year, but this year, I mean, putting Ricky and Calvin in a top three is terrifying right now.
Yeah,
I really wanted to go crazy for Waco and say like Gannon takes it first place, which doesn't look crazy. When
you did put Gannon in your top three.
I did put him in my top three.
I had him in there as well.
I'm glad I went safe with Paul.
Yeah. Paul.
Paul looked incredibly good out there.
It's same old. Like Paul had like one.
You say it's so boring.
No, like Paul had like one dip in his career around like 2018, right? That was the year.
2016.
It was 2016.
17.
I don't know. Anyway,
18.
Well, he wasn't.
Paul,
there was 1 year. What was the
16.
year? 2016.
That was his back injury year.
Okay,
where he was straddle playing.
But like,
year.
and even then, like he still won a good few events. But like, he just doesn't really. He's pretty consistent. Like you know what you're gonna get. And like when his game is looking as good as it is, like right now, like he's hitting all of his lines pretty much. His putt is definitely good enough. It's pretty solid. I just don't know who's going to beat him, especially at courses like this. It's one thing when we just get to wide open courses and the scoring separation goes down the toilet, but at a course like this where he's just not taking the blow up holes that everybody else is, like he's never going to lose.
Paul is just always a safe pick. He's always the kind of pick that you want to bring home to meet your parents.
That's right.
Well, I mean, in the past, it seems like Paul would have if you go far enough in the past, he started off good, but recent past, he would have a rocky start,
slow,
and then once we get towards the like Midwest East Coast swing of like the Northeast,
that's the crazy thing.
That's when Paul normally picks up. Because like last season, for instance, you're almost 3/4 away into the season. You're like, man, what the heck's going on with Paul? And then he goes win, and you're like, oh, he might have had one of the better seasons.
Here's the thing, if Paul can scrape up early wins this year before getting to the East Coast swing, and the fact that there's 3 majors this year, and one thing is certain is that Paul is in a major. he's gonna almost win every single time.
Well, there could be 4 majors. European Open.
Yeah, there could be 4 majors. So like, I have a hard time believing he doesn't take 2 of 4 majors.
Well, because Champions Cup is at WR Jackson, which Paul has historically played very, very good at. The only player that beat him technically was when at Worlds. Well, I mean, he's lost it used to be the Hall of Fame Classic. He's lost that event before to like random people like Adam Ham has popped off. I don't know if he won it, but Michael Johansson used to always be up there. But Paul was always in contention at WR Jackson. He lost Worlds there, but they were also playing the Fort, and Ricky won that. But European Open, Paul is notorious, very good there. USDGC, Paul's always in contention at, except for 1 year he came in like 65th.
I mean, he won. So.
He just won this year, though. And then Worlds, Paul is always in contention no matter the course.
And Emporia,
but
he's
Emporia,
good there.
He's good there. He did lose Worlds last time it was there. But again, it was too Rick.
Revenge. It's a revenge game, though.
Yeah, so it's hard because this is Paul's first tournament against the full field. He did play Memorial last week, but Memorial kind of tells you nothing because it's not like any real courses you face on tour.
It's just like when there are times where you can look at a player and they just match up really well with the course. Not to say Paul doesn't with Waco. And like, so like at Las Vegas, like we can watch that event and be like, okay, well, this player matched up well. This course is pretty open. Like, let's not get too hyped. But like at a course like Waco, and when you watch Paul's game, everything that's happening that he's doing correctly applies to any course. He's just hitting lines, controlling his angles, playing the wind right. He's making putts from everywhere. Like that game, if he has that game, that applies to any course.
Yeah.
And the only way you're going to beat him is really if you out-throw him, and there's not a lot of guys that can even do that.
Well, that's the tough part is some of the players in the field that if Paul is at his best, because we've talked about parity, right, where there's a lot of players who their best is now competitive,
right?
But there's still an echelon of players that at their best, the field can't catch them.
Right.
Paul is one of those players.
Paul is the
other
player,
players, Ricky, Eagle, Calvin, right now. Dickerson, I think you can also throw into that list.
Yeah.
But Eagle, not there. Ricky and Calvin, 2 events in a row. What is going on?
Yeah,
they're playing, if you look at it objectively of just like any player.
They're playing fine.
Any player would take their seasons up to this point. Any player would take their first 2 events. Very happy with their first 2 events.
Very weird.
But when you take it, Ricky and Calvin, 2 players you expect to be in contention every week, or at least trying to be, and very weird start.
And Calvin especially, Ricky too, but like Calvin and Ricky were like my 1-2 punch of consistency.
Yeah.
Especially Calvin. I think it was a couple seasons back now to where like he finished outside of 5th maybe once or twice. Like he was kind of that guy. He wasn't winning a ton, but like he was always on the doorstep every single time. Ricky is kind of the same way. Like Ricky has always been my like, if I have to bet on one guy to win, it's going to be Ricky because he just seems to always give himself a chance. It just hasn't quite been there. Ricky's game, he looks frustrated. He's just not quite hitting lines the same way. He's missing putts that he doesn't really miss. He just hasn't found his groove yet.
Which is it's weird to me because like normally you'd be like, oh, it's the discs. Immediately like, oh, he's switching new sponsor, all this stuff. But we do have to remember like Ricky's got 2 world titles with these discs.
Yeah.
And he also went back to daggers, which is what he like established how good he was at putting. And like realistically, when he left daggers and went to KC Pro AVRs, he was nowhere near as good as a putter as he was with daggers. So in my head, I was expecting Rick to come into the season and just be filthy with daggers again.
And there might, I mean, it was a few years back now, so like there might just still be an adjustment period, and like it does take a while it is golf, so there's so much randomness. Paul could finish 15th at the next event. We do have to, like, the season has to unwind a bit before you can really start developing like season-wide narratives. But, you know, we're here to talk about the early signs. We're not going to just ignore them. And right now it does seem that there's a lot of good players that aren't on their game. I mean, you look at that leaderboard and Dickerson, you know, he makes sense being up there. Luke Humphries, let's talk about Luke Humphries.
Yeah.
Absolutely out of nowhere. Like, I don't know, like where was he finishing last year on tour?
I don't know. So to start the year off, he went 4th at Vegas now, and now 2nd at Waco. If we go 2021, let's just look at the same tournaments.
I'm sure those are his best finishes, probably.
Vegas, he came in 73rd. In Waco, he came in 60th. last year.
Most improved player so far, and it's not even close.
What kind of turnaround is that? He came in 33rd at the Open at Belton last year, so we'll see if he can continue that start.
His game, too, is not overwhelming. He just kind of, it's a simple game, and he just kind of executes and doesn't get himself into trouble. It's tough to really put your finger on what he's doing to, like, gain all those strokes on the field, but he just kind of hangs around. And he did that for most of the round yesterday.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
His best performance last year was 10th at Portland Open.
Wow, so he's already bested that twice.
Yeah, that was his best performance last year at like
I hope he
at
keeps
an
it up,
elite series or major.
because he's putting up a heck of a season right now.
Yeah, I mean, very impressive start for him. But I mean, looking at Waco is typically a place where a lot of weirdness happens. And we've also talked about like this is going to be we feel like a year of parity.
Yeah.
Obviously, Paul winning, that's not weird. And that could be something that like maybe Paul is the non-parity person of the year, if that makes sense. Like he's the person that's able to still be the guy you expect him to be. But let's just blur Paul's name out, right? Let's act like Paul didn't win. Okay. Well, obviously Paul won, but we'll look at basically the rest of the leaderboard. You go Luke Humphries, Chris Clemens, Joel Freeman, Thomas Gilbert, Aaron Gossage, Kale LaVisca, Isaac Robinson. Then you have Chris Dickerson.
Crazy mix.
Then you go to Alex Russell, Nico LaCastro, Charles Moore. Then you have James Conrad and Ricky. Then you go Mason Ford, Kyle Klein, Lori Lettinen. Then you have Calvin Heimberg. Then you go Matt Bell, Bradley Williams. Then you get to Kevin Jones. And then Clay Edwards, Linus Carlson, Andrew Fish, Justin Rozak, top 25 finish for a Team Foundation guy there. But it's like all over the place. And then, I mean, if you scroll down, talking about crazy leaderboards, you scroll towards the bottom here, and let me just find some names like Paul Ulibarri, 102nd place. The heck?
The Texas swing is not kind. There's a reason that like Eagle is avoiding it.
Yeah, Adam Ham is 77th. Jordan Castro, 77th. Corey Ellis, 70th.
There are clearly players that
Colton Montgomery won 2 years ago, 70th.
Yeah. Clearly there are players who have just acknowledged that the Texas swing can just be so unpredictable that like it's not even worth their time. But then you got players like Paul.
Eagle, for instance, says it's about his elbow and how many forehands is required. Drew is in the process of moving, so
it's convenient.
Yeah, I mean, they did pick. Well, yeah, even Eagle. Eagle's playing tournaments and did pick to skip the Waco or skip the Texas swing. Drew did pick when to move and picked the Texas swing. So
I don't blame if you had to pick a time to miss. I don't blame them.
That's what I'm saying. Is as much as they do have like legitimate reasons to miss, they also were intentional about what they missed.
Like if you look at the tournament schedule and you're like, Waco is where like it's always just an absolute toss up as to who's going to win, and like if I come in first or like 60th, like it's a Wild West.
Yeah. Well, we talked through Ricky. We talked through Ricky a little bit, and Ricky's got at least an excuse to fall back on new discs
for now. He didn't have too many weeks left of that.
But Calvin, what's going on with Calvin?
I don't know.
He's got the same bag.
He wasn't on camera, so I couldn't really.
But that's
tell
what
you.
I'm saying is like what. There's not really a legit excuse for Calvin.
Did it look like?
Well, it's one of it. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Did it look like whenever Ricky was throwing? Did it look like it was mainly like him missing lines, or did it look like his discs either hyzering out or flipping over?
I think I didn't see a ton, but it seemed like I think I saw quite a bit of line missing. But
also
at
missed
Waco,
putts that you just wouldn't expect.
At Waco, if you're off at all, like there are more shots you see at Waco than any other course to where the disc misses the tree by like a millimeter and then is parked. Like you have to be so precise. Calvin though, like Calvin is one that I'm okay with. Like I'm not going to say anything about Calvin because he played well at Vegas and then he's had like Waco is weird.
Calvin played well at Vegas?
Heimberg? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did okay. He had one bad round.
What?
Calvin Heimberg had one bad round.
Yeah, where he missed like literally every putt he's ever seen.
Yeah, okay, but the rest of the tournament he did fine. And he ended up finishing
that's
like
the thing is like, what are we talking? Are we talking okay for any player?
Where did he finish?
Are we talking Calvin Heimberg?
I think he was like pretty high up there.
Vegas, how'd he come in third?
Third, okay, yeah. You were overdoing that. I was like, I thought it was stupid. I was like,
it's because it's final round.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm third round.
Yeah, third place. All right, Hunter, making me look stupid over here.
I mean, I can't be the only person that felt like Calvin Heimberg
It's because the camera was constantly on him blowing up that third round, but it wasn't as bad as everybody thought that third round was. It was pretty bad, but the rest of his rounds were all insane.
Yeah, it's true.
So
That's very valid.
That's what I'm saying. Calvin, I'm not.
All right, I'm back on Calvin train.
Yeah, I'm not going to
It's just
say.
Waco.
I'm
That's
not
just
really-
Waco.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything weird about Calvin. It wasn't even like he had a disastrous time at Waco. It just wasn't good.
No, that's just Waco.
Yeah.
So we can just chalk that up to Waco. So
Yeah.
Calvin's still Calvin. Screw everything. You know what?
Hunter,
Let's restart the
That's
podcast.
crazy, man. The network had you thinking.
They did.
Calvin had
I thought
the
that
worst
Calvin
day of
had
his life.
well, we're 2 weeks removed from Vegas, so I completely forgot results. All I can remember out of Vegas is watching Calvin miss putts, and I'm like,
It's
I can't
true.
believe he's missing
It is
this.
true.
And so I was like, he must have sucked at Vegas.
But
He didn't. He came in third.
Yeah,
Never mind.
he did
You know
fine.
what? Forget everything. I know nothing about disc golf. Y'all already know that. All right. Well, we're fine then. Everyone calm down.
I'm not ready
Calvin's
to say-
fine.
Everybody calm down.
I'm not ready to say
Both
Ricky's
of you
fine.
calm down. Calvin's fine. Okay? Let's just
Listen,
everyone.
man,
I know
let's
y'all
just
had
wait till we get out of Texas.
y'all had
man.
outrageous takes. Let's just wait till we get out of Texas swing. Calvin's probably going to win a major this year. Honestly.
I do think the major will be the first time we get a really good look at the field because everybody's going to be on their like highest concentration. So like that will be an interesting one. I'm glad we have a major early in the year because if the leaderboard still shakes up crazy weird, and I will say like at our majors last year, Worlds and USDGC, you do see some interesting names get thrown in there, but a lot of times the best names do tend to rise to the top in a 4-round major. Is Champions going to be 4-round? Yeah. In a 4-round major, a lot of times, especially at WR, tough course, but not crazy tough to where it's random. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. Should be great. Now on the FPO side, Valerie Mandujano is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, she hit great putts throughout, especially the final round. Clutch putt after
She was
clutch
ice
putt.
cold that final round when
And
everybody
then-
else was
yeah,
blowing up.
A lot of other players in FPO seem to be like passing around like you win, you win, you win, you win. Like I have the lead, I don't want it. You
Yeah.
take it. Valerie Mandujano though, especially like hole 17, that upshot on 17 was
stone
probably
cold.
one of the best shots of the weekend. Period across all competitors.
That was stone cold.
It was incredible. Just through like a hyzer flip, slow turn, fade out. It was, and 17 is such a tough hole.
Yeah.
So Val, very impressive. Evelina was throwing the disc great for 2 rounds, but her putting was it's something else.
Yeah, Evelina's putting was downright shocking, and I relate because I have been in these shoes, like in competitive rounds of disc golf, to where your putting is so bad that you know you're not going to make anything. So you can be a good thrower of the disc like Evelina, but when you know that you're not making birdie unless you're under the basket, it's just going to make it even more hard to throw because you're under that pressure. Just not a good place to be. Like the best place to be in disc golf is to where your putt is confident, even inside of like 25 feet, to where like you can throw that shot to 25 feet off the tee and be like, okay, that's a birdie. Like that is where you need to be. It was hard to watch. It was like, I felt bad for the commentary team because like I didn't really know. I wouldn't know what to do in their shoes because you hate to see it, but at the same time, like it is part of sports, like watching people crumble like that. And part of it's like, wow, this is just crazy to watch. I hope that she can gain her confidence back though, because like that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure helps off the tee if you have a little bit of pressure off your tee shot, knowing that you can make a 25.
Yeah,
footer.
well, and it also helps your putting, knowing that you can make a 25 footer.
Yeah, well, that's very true.
I mean, on that course, the greens are so fast and so kicky and bumpy that you're gonna have comebackers if you run putts because they're gonna slide, they're gonna roll, they're gonna skip away, and even like that's the other thing about that course is you talk about having to be under the basket. That doesn't really happen a lot because everything slides right past it. Like every good tee shot on that course on those par 3s in the woods was sliding to 25 feet on the edge of the woods.
Yeah.
And that's where you had to be able to make putts from. And Val was making them all.
Yeah, well, that's great. So Evelina, if you look at the stats, she lost by 10 strokes. Okay.
I really wish she would have found a way to win.
Yeah, that would have been fascinating.
Like
She lost by 10. She was still able to come in the top 10. 1 over par for the tournament. Lost by 10 strokes. If you look at gain tee to green, she had exactly 9 strokes on Val. Gain tee to green.
Wow.
That's that. Right? She led the field Val was second in gain tee to green. So that's how good Evelina was throwing the disc.
Evelina
She had
led the field.
23.39 strokes gain tee to green. The second place gain tee to green was Valerie Mandujano at 14.37. So Evelina was just towering above everyone in how she was throwing, but gained putting, she lost 19 strokes to Val. Nah, there it is. Wow. That's it. That's the whole story.
Show, putt for dough.
Evelina
Use it
lost
steady.
13.99 strokes to the field in putting, and Valerie Mandujano gained 5 on the field in putting. Because,
That's insane.
Evelina ended up 17% C1X putting and 0% Circle 2 for the tournament. Is that the... Yeah, she was the worst putter in the field by... It's not even close. She was the worst putter. She had 17% C1X. The next closest is Natalie Ryan at 32% C1X. So, I mean, it's not even like it's close.
I mean,
Evelina led the field in scramble rate. She led the field in Circle 2 in regulation. She led the field in Circle 1 in regulation. She led the field in park percentage. And
it's funny.
led the field
It's
in
funny
gain
because just last week we talked about how you can overcome putting in FPO pretty easily.
I did, however, say putting was the key to winning this week.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I think this shows that there isn't an extreme.
Well, it depends on the course. It depends on the course. Because if you're throwing this good on certain courses, then you're right. This course is just one where you're not going to be able... You're going to have to make putts to win this tournament.
I see what you're saying, but I think we can just acknowledge that if you literally are missing tap-ins every single time,
absolutely.
you're going to lose no matter what.
There's limits to it. There's limits.
There's always an extreme limit, and this was the extreme limit.
This course, it is something where...
Because she was putting at good at all. Like, even just like bad. But
like, if you look at like Owen Scoggins, for instance... She finished in 4th. She was at one point kind of in contention.
Owen was going to win.
She wasn't throwing the disc well.
No.
But she was hitting all her putts. She hit 85%. She had to lead the field, C1X, surely. Yeah, Owen Scoggins, C1X, 85%. That's like all it took for her to get into the top 4.
Yeah.
Like, it was just that. But so Evelina, if she literally makes 30% of her putts, she might win.
That's what I'm saying. She just needed to make like the ones right on the border. Because like C1X is what? What is it? Like
10 feet.
It's 10 feet now.
Yeah. 10 to 30 feet.
All you needed was those 10 footers. Then that would have probably done it. Because, like, I mean, it was crazy. And they were missing all over the place.
Yeah. It's just something where, like, that's just mental.
I think when something like that happens,
else.
Like when you're struggling with the yips and she has a pretty spinny putt, you got to go to the drawing board. You got to develop something.
It's time to change putters, change your putting form.
Yeah, you just got to throw it all out.
Because, I mean, realistically, no matter... This isn't an offense to her. This is just in general. If you're struggling with putting this much, no matter what you change, you're going to get better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Change your putter.
That is the good news. And I've been in these shoes to where your putt is so bad that no matter what you do, you are going to be better than you were before. And that's actually not a bad place to be.
Like, you can like go to a push putt with Casey Pro Aviars for a little bit.
She can look at those stats and be like, you know what? All I got to do is change something and I'll be a lot better than I was then because...
Literally one time at a tournament, the same exact thing. My putting was so bad. Literally any change would make it better because it was so bad. Couldn't make anything. And so you guys were there for the second round. I switched to the putter that they gave us in the players pack.
There you go.
Never thrown it before. I felt it and I was like, this feels kind of good. I'm putting with this the whole round.
How'd it go?
They were Innova Bullfrogs.
Was it better?
It was yeah, my putt was better just because I was like, I already don't care. Yeah, I didn't care at that point. And so every putt was like, well, this is fun. And I did way better.
Well, it also becomes a strategy too of like, once it gets in your head, you get to like a 50 footer and you're like, I can't run this.
I think we should keep full UDisc stats when we play the flex start.
Okay.
So we can like go over our C1X putting. Okay, what do you think if you are like have a normal putting day, like what are you putting C1X? I mean, I hate the C1X stat because...
I mean, it depends on how many 30 footers and how many 15 footers.
Right, it's such a stupid stat.
I'm going to say like 60%.
Yeah. I would say if I was putting well, 60% would be...
Yeah. I think if I'm putting...
But you're so right, because like we're not missing 10 footers.
Yeah, like if I'm putting great... And if I'm throwing great, I'm only having 12 footers. I could putt 100% C1X.
Yeah, such a dumb stat.
But if I'm throwing poorly and I'm giving myself 27 footers every time, I could putt worse than Evelina stat wise.
I wouldn't even be greedy. Like just even give me 10 to 20 and 20 to 30. Like just split it in half, and like that already does a ton of work for that very misleading statistic. Circle 2 is just as bad. Because Circle 2, you can just have...
Yeah, it was funny. On Twitter, I took a screenshot of...
35-footer. And it's
of Evelina. It said Evelina winning tournament with 0% C1X putting right now. And I took... Because that's a fascinating stat no matter how things are broken down.
Yes.
Yeah. No matter how
0% is 0%.
Yeah. Because it doesn't matter if it's 10 to 20 or 20 to 30. They're both going to be 0% right now. So I took a picture of that stat and I tweeted it. And I was like, I said, such a wild stat. And then your dad just wrote back this like... paragraph how
he hates it.
He's like, well, not really, because it's such a stupid stat. I was like, okay, hey, Bob, let's call
how many?
Breathe, Bob, breathe.
It is. I mean, it is stupid in the sense that it like she was probably inside of 10 feet a ton.
Someone responded and said, something about like congratulations on making a great son, Bob, or something like that.
Because if you could literally have the best round of your life, have all your birdie putts from inside 10 feet because you played out of your mind,
and be 0%.
And be 0% putting from circle 1X because
Yeah.
you missed 130-footer or something, or you had none. So it is a dumb stat.
Yeah,
It's very true.
I said such a wild stat, and your dad
He's sick
said
of
that's
that.
why it's an irrelevant stat. It's all about proximity to the pin. And then someone
It's true.
responded and said, "Congratulations on raising an absolutely awesome son. Trevor's the man." And then someone else responded and said, "Just found Trevor's burner account."
Imagine if my dad's Twitter account. Was my burner.
No, he was saying this Ian guy.
Oh, that's also funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It is dumb. And I also, here's the thing. I get it. I get why UDisc simplifies the stats because they are volunteer operated. So you have to depend.
You had to make it very easy for them to do.
Right. But I don't necessarily think it would be unreasonable to at least split
Well, when
it in
you're
half.
putting the stats in though, you are picking
a putting distance.
0 to 10 and
Yeah.
then 10 to 15. They have it. They have it
So
already.
what in the world are we doing?
Because they have the throw in. If you go to like,
That's right. I've literally done scoring, and they literally give you foot
because like
ranges.
if you
So
go to
why?
Paul, I can see he went 5 feet, 5 feet, 5 feet, 16, 16, 5, 16, 5, 27, 27. So they have it.
Like stats are not meant to be oversimplified. Like it's okay to sometimes do it to give me a broad picture, but like you want to be able to look at
They
detailed
are
information.
statistics.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They need to be detailed so that we can get the whole story. Like that's the point of them.
I guess the tough part would be you'd have to when someone misses a putt, you don't put where the distance was from. Like they're inside circle 1 and you put missed putt. It's only when they make it that right now you're putting distance
One more
in.
little click. Doing
like-
UDisc live scoring is very easy. I literally did that while live tweeting Brody's round, while getting soaked in the rain and trying to hold his umbrella. So like it can be done. It's not difficult.
Yeah. Because Evelina, the last round, she
Let's
had
go.
a 16-foot putt and a 27-foot putt. And
Also-
everything else just says 5.
I think the Pro Tour, if the Pro Tour really cares about stats, and they should, because golf is it's a statistically driven game. It's huge to the game and to the presentation of it. They should be in some way making it possible for there to be UDisc employees scoring rounds, so that like they can like really get to the nitty gritty with it, or even Pro Tour. Like there should be a more extensive process than just the guy literally at USDGC, the guy looking up amongst the fans and be like, "Hey, can anybody keep live score for this round?" And
You
like
should do like an
and me having to be like, "I guess I'll do it. I've never done it before."
They
Like
should have like online UDisc certifications.
Well, they do give you a video to train.
Yeah, they give you a little
right
video,
before you start.
but I'm just saying like stats are huge in golf. So like I think there needs to be more of an emphasis on how they're being kept, and I would love to see more detail because like if you right now UDisc, I mean it's great having the live follow through on the app, but like if you go to the PGA Tour, what they do is you can see a map of the hole below like a player's scorecard, and you can see they put on there where that shot landed.
Well, they
distance
have
to the
that
pin.
UDisc that's in UDisc when you're keeping your normal score.
Is it now?
You can't, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, on
You
the
can go,
GPS thing.
Yeah, so you can track
Yeah.
your throws
That-
of where your throws were.
That'll be the next step is when we can say, oh, because like when you see right now, you see on the fairway after one shot on a par 3, you're like, where could that be? So like seeing a little dot, like here it is on the whole map, and he's got this much to pin. That'll be the next step. And like it's an obvious step, so I'm sure
Honestly,
it's just a matter of them making it happen. But that would be really cool. And like
I'm trying to think through how easy it would be, because it would almost alleviate what you're currently doing, because you just click where they're at. The only tough part is having to do it for 4 people on one phone at one time.
yeah.
That's the hard part. But I mean, because like if I'm tracking just you and I'm able to click you're here, then you're here, it gives all the same stats, but it's the same amount of steps for that.
And the good news about golf is it's a pretty slow sport. So like, I mean, when I was doing the live scoring, never once did I feel like I was rushed. I was always pretty ahead of it. And like, so like, I don't know.
Yeah. The final talking point to bring up, I forgot it when we were going through MPO, was hole 18. Luke Humphries walks up to 18, 2-stroke deficit to Paul, and decided to lay up on hole 18.
Yeah.
Initially, I tweeted, and I'm like, I don't understand this
We
play.
tweeted at the same time.
Yeah, we were both like, I don't understand this play. Why is he laying up?
I gave it some thought.
More I think about it, though, it must have been he was just confident that he couldn't reach the green with the headwind that they were facing. So he laid up, because then once I saw the second part, I was like, oh, okay, that has to be what it was. Because then he did try to throw in from across the water.
Yeah.
And like he was willing to go OB trying to make sure he tried to throw it in. But you know, it was something
there
where
was
like
headwind.
In my opinion, I still like
how far
the way he
how
played
far does the crossing have to be before you're not trying to throw it over? Because for me, I think it has to be like 550 before I'm just before I'm not trying.
If it's like 500 feet, I'm not trying because like then I know that there's no chance.
500? You don't think if you got everything behind it, got up a little jet stream?
I don't think so. Well, it's
Sure
it's into a headwind.
But let's just take the headwind out of equation.
Okay.
Like
no wind at all.
Like and
it's
you gotta
downhill.
remember, you can clear it to the right side too. You don't have to go straight at the pin.
But you're still trying to throw in from there.
But it's a lot. Okay, but like it can get a lot closer than that throw.
I
That throw
think-
is far. That's really far.
I think I'm trying up to 500 feet.
I'm just saying, like, unless that disc is gonna land in the middle of the water, that's how far it is. Like, I am launching that thing as hard as I humanly can because like it's just a more epic finish.
But I think that's just a pride thing for me. It's
Same,
just because
same.
like
No.
I don't want to be like
I
Luke
honestly
Humphries
respect
did
Luke.
what was the smartest for his game.
I respect it.
And probably what he should have done, to be honest, because he probably gave himself a better bet laying up and
Yes,
trying to throw it in
he
than trying to
probably
go
did.
for it. So it's probably a
But I
very
would've-
smart play.
I would have yeeted
Pride
that thing.
wise, me, I'm like, I want everyone to know I'm trying to win.
Because-
and so I'm just chucking this,
Right.
even if it's in the middle of the water.
Because like even like you'd always have that one moment of coverage where like he's taking this huge run up and winding up and you see it rip out of his hand. You always have that moment.
And then he throws a thrower into the water.
Yeah, and then it goes in the water, but you always have that anticipate. I was just kind of like getting ready. Okay, he's got to try and go for it. And then he just kind of sawed it off over
I mean,
there.
could
And
it
I was
also
like,
have been a fascinating play because like
Okay.
then it forces Paul to not like to throw a shot he's not used to, which is the layup shot. And then like
Right.
imagine, so Paul lays up, the way it worked out is Paul was out, so Paul had already laid up his second shot with no pressure. But if it was vice versa and like Luke Humphries laid up and then throws in, and now Paul has the pressure of he has to get up and down,
Yeah.
and like I don't know, it could have because he was making Paul now execute 2 shots, whereas like if he went for it and went OB, Paul
think-
could have easily had no pressure on anything.
based on the way that whole, like, you know, it's going to be windy out there and the wind's going to come off the water. So it's going to be, but like I heard literally only 2 people were able to cross. Like I think KJ and Calvin, somebody said that last day.
People were ending like 30 feet short on the last day.
So
it was fascinating.
if it's a par 3 and like that's going to be a consistent problem, then I think you have to move the tees up. If only 2 people on a par 3, because like,
well, the issue was
it makes
before it was
just
a par
so-
4, and then
Right.
when it's calm, the whole field can go for it.
right.
That's the whole issue.
Yeah, other solution, just lengthen it even more and make it a par 4 again, because I'd be fine with that. But you have to make there actually a decision to be made there. Like
Yeah.
you want the water to be more exciting. And like, yeah, I guess it's still an exciting upshot, but now it's to get up and down for par, and it's just like a little dinky upshot.
Yeah.
That a lot of people messed up. I don't know. I think the drama was kind of taken out of that hole, and it's not Luke Humphries' fault.
No. When I watched it, I was like, what the heck is he doing? And then the more I thought about it, I was like, that was actually a smart move. Yeah, I think it was just more I wanted to see the like go for glory
that's
shot.
what I'm saying. I wanted some drama.
Yeah, but it is what it is. And you know what? Very impressive performance 2 weeks in a row by Luke Humphries. We'll have to see at Belton if he can make it 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
if he
that's
makes it 3
awesome.
weeks in a row, then I mean,
That's incredible.
Luke Humphries, Player of the Year.
Luke Humphries is impressing right now.
All right, it's time for a fan favorite segment, Trevor's Trivia. I almost just shut my
Heck
laptop.
yeah.
We're halfway into the show. I can't shut that.
Okay, we haven't done this in a while.
We do it every week, silly.
No, we haven't done. we
Silly.
haven't looked into the PDGA approved discs list in a
Ooh.
while because this is a really fun. This is just going to be called. We're just going to play like a little game of.
Who's that Pokemon?
We're going to be
It's
playing
Pikachu!
a little game. We're going to play a little.
TikTok's out, man.
We're going to play a little
dang
game. It's going to be called Bull. Like
Bull
the card game.
crap.
You know the card game Bull or whatever. When somebody's like, I've got 2 4s.
Peanut butter.
Bull.
You'd be like, Bull. Well, I'm going to name disc names because I have an endless list of names. Some of them are going to be real names. Some of them I'm just going to make up on the spot.
Heck yeah, I love this.
And
I actually wake up every morning and study the PGA approved
just
list,
to
so I'm
just to
very
be
excited.
sure, just to make sure you know, like I'm not trying to bluff. Like I'm going to take a pause before I read every single name because if I'm
Okay.
trying to think of one, I'm going to need a pause anyways.
Okay.
And
Wait, like you didn't even write down the ones? Like you're coming up with it on the
I've
spot?
thought of a few names I'm going to
Okay.
use, but like I like I like the.
He's gonna be like,
Here's the thing though, you
Ginger.
you can look at well that wouldn't be that crazy,
that's a
man.
disc.
Clash
That's
discs.
a disc.
Yeah.
There you go.
I win.
There's a lot of inspiration here.
I want a Konner dyed ginger. Can someone make that happen?
Okay.
I want Connor's face on a ginger.
And also, we're going to do 1 point for...
That's such a confusing thing to say.
1 point for every single...
My face is on a ginger.
Trevor's getting
I
mad.
forgot whose segment it was.
I'm sorry, bud. You go ahead.
Good, man.
You
can go to go.
I'm going to tell you you're wrong no matter what you pick. You're going to get 1 point for every time you guess correctly, whether it's a disc or not. And then if you do guess the disc and you're able to guess the manufacturer somehow. Ooh. Quick side note. I felt the Yikun hammer that everybody's talking about. It is the best disc I've ever felt in my life.
Okay, let's calm down.
No,
Let's
it's
calm
so
down.
unique. It is so unique. The plastic, the mold, everything. The best way I can describe it is if somebody took like a Rhino or my Slammer with like the thumb track and flattened it down a little bit into like more of like an A3 type feel.
All right, well, we're going to have to get some because now you've gassed it up and everyone's going to look for it.
I was freaking out.
All right,
I got
I'll
chills.
get an order in with you,
I got
Ken.
chills. Anyways.
Chills, really?
It was incredible. I literally, because I was the same way, and then I picked it up and I was like, oh my gosh, no, this is amazing.
All right. I'll get an account set up with Yikun.
All right. So we're going to, if you guess the manufacturer, somehow you get another bonus point.
Okay.
So Konner, we're going to start with you.
All right.
Let's start off with the solvent.
No deal.
Solvent. I think that would, if you did come up with that, that's like so bizarre because it's like bizarre but believable. So I'm saying it is a PDGA approved disc. Poopy.
That was a good one.
You're going to learn pretty quickly that I can come up with some pretty crazy
really
words.
good because what the heck? What a weird
The
word.
solvent?
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, I know what
it would have to be
but-
an MVP or thought space disc if it was. Because like science, you know.
Wait.
I don't know why.
Hunter,
I don't know why I just
Everyone's
chose
not
not
dead
to
on the low key, did you know the ginger is a disc?
Yeah, no, I didn't before.
Okay.
I knew
But
it.
I know, but like y'all both told me it was immediately.
Yeah.
No, I was joking.
Oh,
I was just like,
no,
oh,
Konner was very
Yeah,
confident.
ginger is a disc. Yeah,
okay.
knew
I was just like, oh, Clash probably made it, and it's right here on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. So we're not. So that tells me that we each get different discs.
Yeah.
Yes.
I understand.
Yeah.
I was on the same page as you originally.
Got it. All right,
No,
Hunter,
I
you
don't-
get the
I don't want you guys to have to
Raider.
go back and forth. or
The
anything.
Destroyer. Ah, dang.
Okay. For Hunter. We're going to go with the Manifest.
Ooh, that's a disc. Ooh, that is a disc.
You saying that's a disc?
I am.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It is a disc.
By Thought Space Athletics.
No.
Dang it. I'm just guessing them for everything.
I think I've heard of that.
I get a
one.
point.
From now on, I'm gonna
add in
gonna
the
dock
sound
a point if you guess the manufacturer.
Oh, then I'm never guessing the manufacturer.
Well, you will if you know it, because
not gonna
I
know
might
any
name
of
a
them.
random disc that you know. Okay, Konner,
Hunter at 1, Konner at 0.
your next disc is the Curl.
The curl.
Ooh.
I feel like you just said that just because you looked at my hair.
Maybe.
Or is it Lightning's new mold?
Lightning's the mold.
Is that necessary?
No.
Okay.
And I apologize.
Thank you.
The curl. See, that could very well be a disc, and it could very well literally be you just thought of the word curl. But I feel like that's what you want me to think.
It's like poker.
Yeah, this isn't even like, do you know the disc? It's more
This
just, can you get into Trevor's mind?
Yeah.
And I don't want to go in there.
Dark place. It's a dark place.
I'm going to say, I'm not sure you would go back and forth like that, so I'm going to say it is a disc.
It is a disc.
Yes!
Whoa.
1-1.
Exciting.
By who?
All right.
Who makes it?
Full turn disc, I believe it was.
Ah,
Okay,
Full turn discs.
fully turned.
Hunter,
Yeah.
360.
your disc is the Axle.
Oh, that's a good name. That's a good name. That's not a disc.
I'm pretty sure that it is a disc.
It's not a disc.
Let's go. 2-0.
I have heard of a disc
Axis.
called
2-1.
Axis is
He
what you're
has a
thinking
I don't
of.
know. Maybe.
You got the curl. It's 2-1.
Oh, 2-1.
2-1 after 2 for each. We'll do 2 more each.
Here
Okay.
we go. Hey, man.
You better get this one right.
All right, here I am. Rock me like a hurricane.
I like to get to a spot in the list, even if I'm making up one, so that you can tell that I'm looking at the list. It's extra.
have
buff.
not been paying attention to that.
Okay.
I've been
Me
watching
neither.
Hunter the whole time. He is hilarious.
I'm trying, man.
Your disc,
My disc?
that might not be a disc,
disc.
is the radar.
I love how you like purposely go, and then like I know that you're doing that for all of them just to be safe.
Yeah.
What did you say? The radar?
No, the Raider.
Is that what I said?
No, you said radar.
Yeah, the radar.
The radar.
Mind games.
Mime games. Okay. Wait, hold on. Hunter just had the what? The axle?
Axle.
And it was not a disc.
Correct.
I now have the radar.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that the radar is a disc.
It is.
Okay.
From Storm Disc Golf.
Storm
2-2.
That
All
makes
right.
sense. Storm.
Hunter,
Yes.
your next disc
Yes.
is the Maple.
The
What a great
Maple.
name. I hope that's a disc. Sounds sticky.
I mean, if it's a disc,
That should be plastic.
Ooh,
Like
somebody
a
should do plastic games
I'm going to
after
say
wood
it's
names.
not a disc because I think Trevor tried coming up with one that would fit into Clash.
Well, it is not a disc, but that was not where my mindset was.
Good job, Hunter.
I saw a disc named the Sycamore, and I was like, ooh, I should do another tree. name.
Hunter's gotten all of them right.
I'm 3 for 3.
Okay,
Dang.
after 3, the score is.
This is Connor's last one.
Do you already have 3 points?
Yeah.
So if
If you get this, best, worst,
if I get
the best
this and you
can
miss,
do
then we do one more.
Last one's
Yeah.
worth 2 points.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Last
Throw
one's
all
worth
my
2
hard work
points.
out the window.
Yeah, that's how we do it here. We like to make it entertaining.
Kind
Okay.
of like that banker video. Where we're at the end, never mind. Sorry.
Okay. Your
Hunter just goes.
final disc or not
All right.
is the Kick.
The Kick is not a disc.
Wow, confident.
Yeah.
You're correct. It's not a disc. Okay. It all comes down to this.
Hunter, did I hurt your feelings, man? I'm sorry.
No. What's my name? What's my name again?
What's my name? Hunter?
No, not a disc.
Yours is, yeah, it is.
I know, Legacy. I used to putt with them.
Irony? I think not. It's exactly the opposite.
Okay.
You playing Minecraft over there?
Final disc. This has got to
Playing
be a
PUBG
good one.
Mobile
This
over
has
there?
got to be a good one. I haven't found it.
Playing Doodle Jump
The
over
other
there?
way, the other thing I like to do is come up. Like I like to find a name, and then decide if I want to pick that one or the one that I came up with that's similar.
You playing Temple Run over there? You say one, Hunter.
You got Angry Birds on that thing?
That's Doodle Jump. Did you say Doodle Jump?
I
yet?
did say Doodle Jump.
Okay.
You got the YouTube on that bad boy?
You got Flappy Bird? You know, if you had
Okay.
a phone with Flappy Bird, you could
All
sell it
right.
for a lot of money.
The final disc is
Or not.
or not
Or isn't.
is the Cliff. What a sick disc name,
That is a sick disc name.
Cliff.
Too bad it's not a disc.
It's not a disc.
Let's go.
Good job, Hunter.
Wow,
You did such a good job.
Hunter just sniffs out my bull crap.
He
That's what
That's all I do every day. You tell me where Trevor
he
crapped,
really
I'll
like.
smell it.
Really, what is more impressive about that game is that Hunter just went straight into my brain and just picked them all right out.
We're too similar.
I only missed one.
Because
I only missed one.
that is true. You guys both did a pretty good job there.
We got up in there.
because I don't feel like I would like all those names were random enough that like that's pretty
No,
much.
there was no way to tell.
That's a look into my eyes
It
type
was-
game right
it
there.
was
I didn't even
lot
look at you once.
That was how you did it. That's why Konner lost that one time. He locked in a little too long.
I did. Fun fact though. You guys remember last week?
No.
Me neither. I don't remember anything about last week. But do you remember whenever we played the disc golf prices right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you brought up the FD Jackal stamp?
Yes.
S-Line FD. Well, this guy named Jacob Sisk
Oh.
is sending me an S-Line.
Everybody's
FD.
getting sent cool
And it's-
discs right now,
and
except
it
for
is-
me.
It's
Says the guy
Jackal
who's
stamp one.
gotten so many dyed discs over the past months. You get sent discs more than any of us. You just got 6 steadies and like 5 Penroses
Yeah, I
from a
don't
random
know.
person.
What are you talking about?
You're beating us all in discs sent to you this year.
Sounds like you're bitter. Here's what I'd like to do before we leave the trivia segment is make a little plug because our Patreon, the Heiser Club, if you haven't heard of it, you should check it out. Link will be in the description. We do a Patreon exclusive video every month, and for this month, I've created a disc golf Jeopardy board, and I'm going to host Jeopardy for Hunter and Konner to play against each other. And they both have apparently never really watched Jeopardy. So
yeah, I never really.
What
watched
is Jeopardy?
at least you get
Got
that.
it.
At least you get the essence of having to form the answer in the form of a question.
you were
So that's
high-fiving
because I thought I was gonna have to explain that to you guys. So if you're interested in checking it out,
And
check out
also for Heiser Club Mailbag, which is our exclusive podcast, we open things, and I'm gonna get that FD today. So whenever we film that, the Heiser Club Mailbag,
Hunter's got cool mailbag stuff
I will
too.
show that S-Line FD
I'm the only one without
on the
cool
camera.
mailbag stuff.
Again, thank
Well,
you,
mine's not
Jacob
really
Sisk.
mailbag. I
Thank you,
bought
Jacob.
mine.
It's still mailbag.
I paid for my stuff.
That is true.
Which, speaking of what I paid for, we got to talk about Innova. We got to talk about Innova on two fronts.
Okay.
First front, my simp front. CE plastic might be the greatest plastic ever invented.
Hunter got CE plastic in.
I have a CE
It
Firebird.
feels pretty incredible.
It's incredible.
It is incredible. I would not be mad. Listen, I don't even want somebody to send me CE plastic. You know, I would never go that far.
I didn't
But-
ask for it. I paid. First of
But
all, I paid.
if somebody has a good
paid.
deal on a CE disc, preferably a T-Bird or an Eagle, I'll buy it. Like, I'm just interested in getting my hands on a CE disc.
Yeah, there's one right there. You want to feel it?
Yeah, no.
Trevor, did you feel that Firebird?
He did.
Yeah, I did.
Can I say something and see how you feel about it?
Okay.
It feels like if I closed my eyes, I would say it was a Sexton Firebird. Like a
The
new
plastic?
one. Yeah, because it's like
Yeah.
it's like that kind of gummy, but it's a little waxier.
Well, you know what's funny is I was comparing the CE to all the plastics I had in my bag, and the closest one, and it's not identical, don't get me wrong, but the closest one, and it's actually closer than you think, is hybrid plastic from Trilogy. It's
I just said
between
Fusion.
No, it's between Fusion and Lucid. That's what the hybrid is.
Gotcha.
And it's got the same opaqueness and also a similar feel. It's just not as stiff. But I actually surprised me. And I don't know how much they make that plastic, but it's good. I have had that. I will say as well that I've had that Raider and that hybrid plastic in my bag longer than anything I've had Trilogy, and it still flies the same. So
They should bring, but that did tell me enough that is pretty much a plastic blend that Innova's missing, and they should bring CE back.
Yeah, someone said it's
feels
a
incredible.
mix. It's a blend between Pro and Champion, is what
that's
someone
amazing.
said.
How would I?
Oh, and I love
if
Pro
you like.
and
I don't
Champion.
know about you guys, but if I were working at Innova and had any control over anything, like all I would do is combine different combinations of plastic.
Yeah, I don't know. why
My
they don't do that
entire
more.
bag would just be stuff that nobody else
Yeah,
had. You'd be like, yeah, this is 6% Pro, 8% G Star. Like, it's just custom blends.
It's going to be hard for me not to just keep seeking after CE stuff. I did make another
You're gonna
disc
wanna
purchase.
Stop now. What?
I did make another disc purchase. I got it.
Ooh.
Three
didn't even know
putters.
about that.
3 putters for like $10 each.
You did not buy 10-time AVRs.
No,
Oh.
even better.
I doubt it.
No, it's not.
11-time AVRs?
No,
I will
it
say
doesn't have
11-time
Ken
rocks
Clemens.
are not too bad. I actually want to get
This is what I got.
10-time AVRs, though.
San Marino AVR 3-disc lot.
San Marino.
Let me find the picture
So, like,
here.
did you get any of the
So
big
it's just
bead
like
ones?
a normal, like old classic AVR, and then the AVR that Paul's AVR was based on,
Oh.
and then a 1992 tournament
Are
stamp
any
AVR.
of them the big bead ones?
I think they're all classic AVRs.
Okay.
I think they're all beadless.
That's very cool.
Pretty sick, but yeah, $10 each.
Because the other,
wow.
that's good.
Well, maybe I think by the time I was done bidding, yeah, I paid $26 for 3 discs.
Nice. The other swag AVR to have is the small big bead
Or the
AVRs.
V-chain.
Or the V-chain. But like
That's my next purchase.
I was looking through a lot of in the bags, and like a lot of those guys threw the original small big bead AVRs and were like gassing them up.
Small bead AVRs.
Is that just KC
That's
Pro
what they
at this point?
that's what they call them.
Is
Yeah.
that just KC Pro at this point?
No, they were DX AVRs that had a
No, I
smaller
know,
bead.
but KC has a smaller bead than big bead AVRs, don't they?
I don't know.
I'm almost positive.
I don't know.
I'm also getting a McPro AVR from Jacob too.
Look at this. Bunch of Innova simps over here. Flip flop that though.
It's good. I'm gonna start.
Opposite
I'm gonna do
side.
some like
It's because-
discraft collecting, dude. Let me get a 10-year buzz, like a second first run buzz. Like
I have some. I
another
have some.
buzz.
The thing with Discraft collectibles is a lot of the stuff that's worth a lot is like since Paul's gotten there.
we do need
So like there's a lot of newer stuff.
Yeah,
'Cause
that is
I've got
true.
like 1060
Give me
Onyxes,
like
Proto
I want like an
Maltas,
old Predator.
First Run Lunas.
One thing that the three of us talked about, but we didn't talk about it on anything, was last week we were all going through and just looking on eBay and on a lot of things, just at the prices of discs that are special to us and used to be really special.
They used to
But
be really
for some
expensive,
reason,
too.
they're just like, you can buy them for $17.
Yeah, a lot of people just don't care.
It's just crazy. Like discs that feel like
that's what I'm saying. I think this is my time to make my dream bag.
I agree.
There has never been a better time.
I think I'm sending it.
Collector bag.
I think I'm sending it. That Firebird's going to my bag. I got 3 Firebirds.
I gotta sell all these things at Ford Gas right now.
I have an 11-time.
Oh my gosh, true.
I have an 11-time Firebird that I'm gonna put on the wall, and then I got another CE Firebird that's signed by Will Shoestrick and Nico LaCastro that's going on the wall. Swag. And then that one is signed by 2 people that I have no idea who they are, and that's going to my bag. That CE Firebird.
I can't wait to watch you yip that into the water at
I'm not gonna throw it in Texas.
Trinity Park.
I'm putting it in my bag
Falls.
after Texas to refuse. So I refuse.
You're not gonna throw it at all in Texas?
No, I refuse.
Why?
I'm too scared.
Most of the courses there, just don't throw it in your water.
I'm too scared. But I'm gonna want to.
I mean, it would be pretty sick.
Is sick.
How good would the content be though? Like if you had to dive in after it, it'd be great.
I don't want to have to go in that water.
The water at Trinity Falls is nice.
Yeah, it is. It is. It doesn't matter. Second flip-flop thing on Innova.
Okay.
So Innova good, CE plastic. Innova bad, shameless re-releasing of the Discmania molds. It's gotten out of hand.
Is it bad though?
I don't know. I can't decide. Because now they've released the Metal Warrior, which is an MD3.
I think it's the names that are a little bit criminal.
Because we got the Iron Samurai.
I think it's just too funny. And
the Iron Samurai MD3 just came out. And then like a week later, Innova comes out with the Metal Warrior. And they literally, when they're advertising it, say the original MD3.
I would have.
And they also call it the approved PDGA name is Mid Disc 3.
Wow.
It's there.
That's hilarious.
It's enough to lead you to believe that there was a pretty ugly falling out between the two companies.
Say.
Because to call it that, like that's disgusting.
Well, that's what also someone on Facebook was trying to defend them. They're like, they're probably just selling off like the stuff that was left over. And I was like, do you guys not remember how long we went without MD3s?
Yeah.
Like they're making this stuff because they would have easily just sold it under Discmania previously.
I wonder if it'll succeed in the Innova lineup now that it's not in the Discmania lineup, because like the Innova guys, they all throw rocks. But like it's so
MD3
hard.
Is such a good disc.
It's so hard for me to get a gauge on the Innova like current form, like what's the trends in Innova, because nobody's throwing it anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
It's so weird. Like there are people I see people throw Trilogy. Heck, I feel like I see more people throwing MVP these days than Innova. And maybe it's just where we are because we're in a very big boom area of disc golf. But like it's all Discraft pretty much. And like that's not how it used to be. Everybody had Innova.
What do you think for the most part, if you're going through, like you take a focus group from many different areas, all throwing mixed bags, what's the most common Innova disc they're going to have in their bag?
A Destroyer.
Firebird or Destroyer.
I was going to say maybe a Firebird.
I don't know.
Because no one else makes something as good as the Firebird.
But there's a lot of people that are throwing Captain Raptors, Felons. The overstable fairway is one of the
but I lately...
No, I always come back to the Firebird. I'm on Team Konner.
Like,
my Captain Raptor's got maybe a week left in my bag before a Firebird's
But
back.
what's wrong with it?
The Captain Raptor, it's not a Firebird.
Okay.
It's more overstable in weird ways than I want.
The enemy that I'm throwing from Legacy flies.
I haven't messed with Legacy much.
That one, and I agree, like I hadn't found a lot like the Firebird, but this one, it's a little deeper than a Firebird, which I prefer, and it flies just like it. But it's a good. I mean, the Firebird's a good disc. I have a Sexton in my bag.
It's just something so weird, and it's probably mainly a mental thing. But I literally, the day that I got a Sexton Firebird, I put it in my bag and I threw it on the first hole, and it was the best forehand I've ever thrown. And I can't.
I think there's a lot of discs like there's a lot of discs like a Sexton Firebird. I don't think there's a lot of discs like a Firebird.
Yeah. Something about how the way the Firebird feels. It's like an inspiring. Overstable.
For some reason, like their Firebird rides this line for me of overstable enough to handle everything without being too overstable.
Shapeable still.
Yeah, because there's like the Felon and stuff that can get too flippy and too straight.
Mm-hmm.
The Raptor was in that category. Then you have like the Captain Raptor, the Tilt, the original H1 that's more overstable than the Firebird.
Uselessly overstable.
And the Captain Raptor's not uselessly. It's the closest.
The original H1.
But the original H1 and the Tilt are
Captain
useless.
Raptor's a little faster, isn't it?
Yeah,
feels a little faster.
There's just something of like the Firebird is in this like perfect middle line that I feel like every other disc that's close to it is either more overstable or more understable than. Like I haven't found exactly a Firebird.
I also haven't bagged like just a stock Firebird in the longest time.
I hadn't either because I had convinced myself.
I used to have like 3 in my bag.
I had convinced myself that the Predator was just as good. Then when I took the Predator out, I put something else in.
Predator.
I forget what I put in after that. And I had convinced myself that the Firebird wasn't anything special, like what you're saying. Then I threw the regular Firebird again. I was like, no, there's nothing like that. I haven't found it.
That's what we do every time we throw Innova discs, though. I can't help but think we're just biased.
I'm definitely biased. I
think we just have
We have core memories with those discs.
Sentimental value is wrapped up in it as well.
It's tough to shake.
It is.
That's okay. That's
Yeah,
what
it's
this is
fine.
about.
It's fine.
But I will say, like Rock
Love the
3,
game.
Rock 3s,
They
gone.
suck now.
No, who's throwing Rock 3? Other than Innova Pros.
Because they're trash now. I literally
Yeah.
tried one out. When I was in North Carolina a few weeks ago, I had one and I threw it like expecting it to be somewhat stable. I threw it on hyzer as well. And I mean, the thing practically rolled on me. And that's what I had noticed with Rock 3s ever since I got to the 4 times. Like, I had a 2-time Rock 3. Oh my gosh, it's like the best mid I ever had. It was so stable for so long, like reliable, amazing. And then they kind of went downhill. So
There you have it.
Yeah, Rock 3s they're a bit of a sore spot for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say,
sorry,
I
man.
think Destroyers and Firebirds are still very, very, very popular. But like
Destroyers are
beyond
still
that,
amazing.
I mean, I don't know. I'd be curious if you like did that poll of what was the most commonly thrown disc. I would say it's probably like a zone.
It's
At this point, everyone's got a zone.
It's just crazy.
A Buzz would probably be up there.
Because like the Gator, that was what people threw. It wasn't the
Yeah.
zone. It's just crazy
Well, the
how the
zone-
trend has evolved.
Because like back in the day, the Gator, a lot of people threw the Gator, but the Gator and the zone are two different discs.
Yeah.
Gator's
But
faster.
a lot of people just didn't have that spot. Like for instance, Paul's game evolved drastically when he went to Discraft because of the zone.
Yeah.
Like Paul never
he said, like in an
he
interview,
never threw forehand upshots at Innova.
Yeah.
Really. If he did, he was taking power off of his monster, really. And then when he got to the zone, but then during that era, what people were putting in their bag was harps because of Ricky.
Yeah.
And
A lot
so
of
that's when
people
the
were throwing
harp was like so popular. And nowadays, harps don't move.
It's a hodgepodge. The trends are weird, and like Innova has pros. It just keeps coming down to like you just realize that Paul McBeth just moved discs unlike anybody else, and like he literally has determined the trends in disc golf for the last decade. So it doesn't seem to me like anything. I don't know what can be done to make the mainstream.
That's what's fascinating
turn
too.
other
That's
than
what's fascinating
Paul.
too is like no other, like we talk about all the time, like pros move discs. They do. Having pros on your team is important. It is. But in the current state of disc golf, there's like Paul moving discs and influencing people's bags. And then there's like everyone else is just on this like weird
it's just a
second
different
tier.
level. Paul moves the entire mainstream community.
Yeah,
of
like
disc
who,
golf.
like
It's insane.
if you don't, I mean, it's so many people that listen to us probably weren't in the disc golf world before Paul went to Discraft.
It was all Innova
Like you would see a buzz here and there,
and Discmania.
but like I could name on one hand people in this area that threw Discraft prior to Paul, and now I could probably name on one hand people that are throwing Innova.
yeah, it was,
And like those are people who have like been in the game for a long time. I never threw Discraft
The
at all,
trend-
and then I was at a full Discraft bag for a little bit.
Yeah, the trend was it was an Innova with a slight Discmania hybrid. That was like the popular
Yeah,
bag to
that's
throw.
what everyone was throwing.
Because you threw your Innova bag, but then you would have like
You're a little
a
edgy with, like, a
P2,
FD3.
like a MD4 in there. Like I had a P2s, MD4s, and I think I had like a PD2. That was the trend, and it was fun because you got to be a part of two companies that were making awesome molds and had really awesome players too, because you had Paul and then you also had Eagle and Simon over there with Discmania.
Sexton, Big Germ.
It was fun. Those bags were really fun.
Yeah.
That was the one cool thing about that trend was like they were made by the same people, but you got to throw two different companies' molds and feel like you were cohesive. Like I guess you could throw DGA in Discraft, but like people are sleeping on DGA though. They do have some good stuff, but nobody's doing that. People are just throwing Discraft.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right, well, let's get into, there is a tournament coming up this weekend. It's a Silver Series, so we're not going to do a preview show, but it's the Open at Belton. With the field there, it might as well be
like
a normal Pro Tour, but it is a Silver
asterisk.
Series. We'll say on FPO, Paige Pierce, not there. Why? Not sure.
Scared.
Is Paige Pierce
Washed?
is Paige Pierce playing Texas State? Let's look at that real quick.
Home state.
She is playing Texas State, so she's just skipping the Silver. Right now, she's registered for no Silver Series at all. So maybe she's just saying, screw the Silver Series. Who knows? But other than that, I mean, the MPO and FPO field might as well be full. I mean, Drew and Eagles, we talked about, they're missing the whole Texas swing, so they're not going to be there. But Should be a good time. There will be, I believe, final round live coverage. Other than that, everything's post-produced for Silver Series. I could be wrong on that.
That sounds right.
But let's get into just some super quick predictions. Just going into the Open at Belton.
Who won last year?
Ricky did.
Ricky won.
Ricky and Paul were like
That's right,
10
it was like a
strokes
shootout.
clear of the field last year. But
predictions are at this point.
predictions,
insane.
I basically what I did is I looked at the field and then used a random number generator.
Yeah.
And this is how I came up with it. Not actually, but you might have believed me. So I'm going to have Paul McBeth take it down because at this point I'm not betting against Paul until proven otherwise. Adam Hammes in second. Why? Couldn't tell you. These are gut predictions.
It's funny how the safest pick each week is just the person who won before because that's all you have to go off
Yeah,
of.
I'm just going with raw gut. I just looked at
Raw
the field.
gut.
Raw
Raw
gut.
gut.
Nothing. My intestines are
Rot
on. My
salmonella.
intestines are out.
He's got
Yeah.
rot gut.
No, I just looked at the field and just whichever name popped out, I said, "Whoop, there we go." No logic. So
Funny,
Paul
'cause we
McBeth,
almost picked the same three.
Adam Hammes second, Kevin Jones third.
We had the same
You
strategy.
guys got the same guts.
We do.
With the same
They're
brains.
both out on the table, entangled.
I've got Paul
gross.
and then Ricky and then KJ.
You're feeling Rick.
Yep.
Rick scares me.
Now KJ Nibo.
Yes.
Rick scares me too much still. I need to see Rick heat up a little
I mean,
bit.
he scared me pretty bad when he double stomped his disc into the ground. But other than that,
I mean, I've done that.
that was
I
like
didn't
the
bounce
most.
back the next week.
Ricky is like most like calm and collected. Like he gets emotional, but like he's not one
I
to
don't see him
freak
get
out.
angry very often.
He was livid with himself.
Probably because he wasn't doing well.
Do you want to do predictions, Connor?
Poorly.
You don't have to.
Just name
These
three
aren't for
names.
points. These aren't for
Just
points.
name 3 names.
Yeah, just for points.
These aren't for points.
Just for some points. I'll go ahead and just,
Okay.
just kidding. I don't know. Did any of you put Luke Humphries in your
No.
3?
That's actually we're
didn't.
actually stupid.
Yeah. Is that going
I
to be a
don't know.
thing?
I don't know. It's not a thing yet for me.
I'll put him in 3rd.
Okay.
I respect that.
Humphries, Luke third.
Paul in 1st.
Paul in first. Simp.
And
I like how you pick with like 3rd then 1st.
Yeah, I like to kind of just
Second's
I
like the
dabble.
suspense.
I dabble.
He goes straight into his FPO top 3. Doesn't even say second
And then,
yet.
did you have Ricky in your top 3?
He did.
In your what place? Second. I was gonna say second.
Well, you can
Just kind of feel it out.
just
Oh,
feeling
so you're
Rick.
going
feeling Rick?
Paul, Rick, Luke.
Yeah, Paul,
All right.
Rick, Luke.
On FPO, I'm going Kristen Tatar, Katrina Allen, Valerie Mandajano. 1, 2, 3.
I had Katrina, Valerie, Kristen in that order.
Mine would be so boring because it would probably just
Just be that same thing in maybe
Yeah.
a different order.
yeah.
So you're not going to say one?
Well,
All right,
you can
fine.
have wait.
Okay,
What did,
I'll
you
go-
can have Val.
I'll go
Val, Cat, Kristen.
Neither of us-
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Neither of us put Paige.
I'll put.
Yeah.
I'm not putting Paige.
No?
I'll put Val.
So
Kat.
all 3 of us are going to have a tournament without Paige in the top 3.
Okay, Val.
This is cyberbullying.
No,
Paige
it's
is-
not.
Paige
Val,
isn't
Cat,
there.
Paige.
Val, Cat,
Oh
Paige.
wait,
Lock it
damn
in.
you freaking jerk. You just
We
said
just
that
said
Paige
it,
wasn't there.
too.
I know she's not there.
You got to let
Because
these
Trevor
things
was
go.
No, because
Trevor
that was
like, she's
bullying.
washed.
That
Come
was
on.
bullying.
I'll
This
just
is
see
bullying.
I'll just see
This
if
is
he pays
bullying.
attention to the podcast.
I wasn't.
I
gonna
was
let-
paying attention, but
He's
I
trying to make sure his
also.
laptop doesn't explode.
Yeah, that is true. All right, well,
That
I'm
is
just gonna
messed up.
choose no one.
Okay,
Yeah.
sexist. Tiger Town Throwdown also happened this past week. I think this is the last collegiate tournament before nationals. Am I wrong?
I mean, it always was for us, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Tiger Town Throwdown. There might have been other collegiate tournaments
Great
that happened,
name.
but Tiger Town Throwdown was just like
Great name.
a fascinating
it sounds
tournament,
like a
and it was
song.
a massive field. Clemson took down the guys. Ferris State came in second, and then Ferris State's B team came in third.
Loaded.
Always a bad sign for the rest of the field when your B team beats everyone else's A teams. But it's happened before with other teams, and
I
so-
think it's hilarious that Ferris State,
How is Ferris a dynasty?
just like this random school.
Are they a community college?
Like it's one thing. Certain schools like place a big, like have pretty well-known disc golf clubs, and they're in big disc golf areas. So like, I guess it makes sense.
They just have They must just have the.
But
goat,
like Ferris
the
State,
goat coach.
yeah, like
Leonard,
I don't
right?
know how. Like how do you recruit somebody to Ferris State?
I think they just have. They are near Flip City, I believe, which is a
Okay.
great disc
So
golf
maybe
course.
it's just a big disc golf area.
And then they got. I think
just
they
grow
have a
up one
good
day-
coach.
One day
Where-
you're gonna
yeah,
go.
what-
You're
where
gonna
are
go to
they?
Michigan.
Michigan?
So there's disc
Okay.
golf pretty popular in Michigan,
But you
like,
can't really play in the winter.
Yeah.
They're a dynasty. They're insane.
Yeah,
all
they-
the time.
I mean,
there's
you have
got to
to
be
go
something
back-
sketchy. I swear, each year they're just sending messages
will
out to
say-
a forum.
I
and they're
will
like,
say-
you want to play with Ferris State this year, and just meet us here.
Somehow Brendan Tetloff is they're like the face of Ferris State again this year, and like I battled against him in my sophomore year, and I feel like I'm so far removed from college disc golf. I don't know how this
I
guy's still
graduated
playing.
2 years ago.
But this guy's also, like, if you look at PDGA, Brendan Tetloff, there was a year where he made like $9,000 playing disc golf, which disqualifies him. But like, so I guess it's only your previous year that you're disqualified?
I don't know. There's no regulations.
But they're not letting Rozak play.
Yeah, that is targeting.
So that's something.
He's appealing, though.
Well, that's not going to go anywhere. Come on.
Yeah, I bet it will, actually.
You think so?
I saw what he wrote up. It was pretty extensive. I mean, there's literally college athletes actually making millions of dollars now. So, like, it probably should.
Well, but they're not making millions of dollars playing their sport. It'd be one thing if, like, they were playing professionally in China over, like, the off season and then coming back and trying to play college basketball.
Right.
That's not going to work.
You're right. But I feel like the reason they probably made that college rule, it had a lot to do with just the stigma of college athletes and money.
Yeah, but like 2017, he made $7,678.
Because the thing is, as long as you had to be a student at the school, a full-time student, like you're not going to be some like touring professional insano and be a full-time student typically.
Yeah.
I don't
know. But if Brendan Tetloff ends up playing, I think he's the favorite to win nationals, and I think Ferris is also the favorite, is what I think. But we'll see how that ends up, what ends up shaking down. But then Ferris State women's team took down the women's over Kennesaw State. They were the only two women's teams there. Brendan Tetloff, shocker, won the event in a playoff over Ryan Messenger. And then Ben Mapes and Jacob Madsen came in third. So there you have it. There's your little dose of collegiate disc golf this week. Quick side note. End of this week, we are headed to Dallas, Texas, for the Bogey Bros battle.
Dallas.
So on Saturday, if you're in Dallas, feel free to come out and spectate. Root against us. Root for your local teams. We'll have the schedule of where we're going to be on Saturday posted.
Yeah, we're playing Trinity Falls in the morning. I don't know. We'll have the exact time posted, probably sometime around like 8:30. And then we're going to play Harry Myers at like 2:00, I think.
Yeah, so it should be a good time. The teams that we're playing against are already picked out, so don't worry about submitting for that. But if you want to come out and watch, that'll be fun. And then we're going to get a bunch of content while we're down there as well. So should be a good time. There's also a Patreon meetup going on. We're going to meet up with some Patreons. We won't say the course because obviously you got to be a patron to show up.
Get the secret code.
Yeah, but for the Heiser Club members, we are going to have a little meetup, play around with them. So that'll be fun on Thursday. We're going to go to Texas State's course on Friday, get some videos in there. And then Saturday, the Bogey Bro battles will make their return. So super excited for that.
Can we stay undefeated?
Can we stay undefeated?
If I'm giving my honest opinion, I think I would say, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just gonna say like my game lately is in really good shape. I'm in a good place going into Texas. The putt here. I'm not gonna make any claims about my putt, but I've been throwing really well.
You're a good doubles putter.
I'm a pretty good doubles
because
putter.
He putts first.
And also, I already get like way better when we go to Texas, anyways.
Yeah, you loosen up.
So you loosen up. You're in shorts.
Vibes are high. Scores are low.
I think I'm going off at Texas.
There we go.
Just said it.
He said it. Texas Trevor makes a return.
Texas Trevor is
Thursday and Friday.
Trevor.
Texas Trevor is different, dude.
Texas Trevor is the bestest Trevor. That didn't rhyme.
We should make you play in a cowboy hat.
Please.
Should we both show up in cowboy hats?
Let's make the Bogey Bros like robe hats that we have. Let's make Bogey Bros cowboy hats. That's the same exact.
I actually saw a TikTok yesterday of some guy like getting an authentic like cowboy hat where they're like forming it with the steam, and I'm like, I mean, I want one.
I think when we go on Thursday, we have to go get
cowboy hats,
and then we wear them on the battle on Saturday.
They can be expensive.
Yeah,
they can be. We'll get cheap ones.
They'll also fall off immediately.
No, not if you get it formed to your head.
So inexpensive when it is.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you can get one for like $40.
We'll see. We'll see how the cowboy hat thing goes.
In Tennessee, they'd have like boot barns where it's like buy any pair of boots, get any pair free. So really, if we can find a hat barn,
a cow barn,
you can get a pair of boots.
If we can find a hat,
Should we play in cowboy boots?
No. If we find a hat barn, then we can just buy one hat and get one free.
All right, you buy one hat, I'll get mine free. Sounds
there we go.
Good.
There you have it. We'll talk to you all next week.